So you're a dog owner in St. Louis Park. You already know it's a fantastic place to live with a pup. But to really get the most out of it, finding the right trainer can make all the difference. This guide is all about giving you a clear, simple plan to find that perfect professional, so you and your dog can enjoy everything our city has to offer. First, let's just picture the goal, right? Imagine strolling down the Cedar Lake Trail without your arm getting yanked the whole time, or just enjoying a coffee somewhere while your dog chills out beside you. Think about those polite, easy greetings with neighbors when you're over at Wolf Park. This isn't just about commands, it's really about making your day-to-day life easier and a whole lot more fun. To get you to that goal, we've got a really clear plan. We're going to start with training styles and why credentials matter. Then we'll get into the different program options and what they typically cost around here. After that, we'll cover the essential questions you've got to ask any trainer, and we'll wrap up with the specific rules and resources right here in St. Louis Park. Okay, first things first, what actually makes a dog trainer a great trainer? Well, it really boils down to two things: their core training philosophy and the credentials that back up their expertise. The cornerstone of pretty much all modern, humane training is something called positive reinforcement. And it's simple, really. It just means using rewards, like a tasty treat, a favorite toy, or even just some excited praise to mark the exact moment your dog gets something right. It works so well because it gets your dog to want to learn and figure out what you're asking. It's not about bribery. It's about clear communication that builds a ton of trust. And this really shows you the two different worlds of training. On one hand, you've got reward-based methods, which create a dog who wants to cooperate with you. On the other hand, there are aversive methods, which often rely on things like intimidation or tools like prong and shock collars. Those can create fear and anxiety. For reliable, long-term results and a genuinely happy dog, all the science points one way: reward-based training is the gold standard. So how can you tell if a trainer is committed to these better methods? You look for credentials. Seeing a string of letters like CPDTK or KPA-CTP after a trainer's name is a really good sign. It means they've passed some tough exams and have to keep up with their education. And for more serious issues like aggression, a certification like the CBCCKA is definitely one you want to see. Now that you know what to look for in a trainer's approach, let's get into the practical side of things. We're talking about the different types of programs you'll find and what you can expect to pay for them here in the St. Louis Park area. Generally, you're going to run into four main options. Group classes are awesome for socializing your dog and getting them to focus with distractions around. Private sessions are custom-tailored to you and your dog, which is perfect for tackling issues that pop up at home. Day training is a great in-between option if you're busy, and board and train programs are like a full immersive boot camp. So, what should you plan on budgeting? This table gives you a pretty good snapshot for our area. You can see a multi-week group class might run a couple $100s, while a single private lesson is often in that $120 to $200 range. And yeah, those more intensive options like a board and train are a much bigger investment. This just helps you line up what you need with what you're looking to spend. Okay, so you've done your research on the different philosophies, and you have a budget in mind. Now it's time for the most important part: actually talking to some trainers. Making a confident choice really comes down to asking the right questions. Let's say you've done your Googling and you've narrowed it down to 2 or 3 trainers who seem promising. How do you actually make that final call? Well, it all happens in that first conversation, that consultation. Think of this as your personal checklist for that talk. First, ask them to just describe their methods to you. Second, verify those credentials we talked about. Third, ask how they'll customize their program for your specific dog. Fourth, and this is a big one, ask how you'll both measure progress. And last but not least, get a crystal clear confirmation of all the costs and their policies, preferably in writing. All right, the final piece of the puzzle is taking all this great training and putting it to use in the real world. So let's quickly cover the must-know local rules and some of the best spots to practice around St. Louis Park. Here's a really simple but super important local rule. In any public space in St. Louis Park that isn't an official dog park, your dog has to be on a leash that's 6 feet long or shorter. It's a key safety rule that keeps everyone comfortable. And this one is a Minnesota state law. Any dog over 4 months old must have a current rabies vaccination. Now, St. Louis Park doesn't require a separate city license, but keeping that rabies vaccine up to date is absolutely mandatory. So where can you go to put these new skills to the test? For practicing that nice, loose leash walking, the trails at Westwood Hills Nature Center or the Cedar Lake Trail are just perfect. And when you're ready to work on off-leash skills like recall, the fenced-in areas at the Wolf Park Dog Park or the nearby Twin Lakes Dog Park in Edina are both fantastic, safe options. At the end of the day, investing in the right training just opens up your world. A well-trained dog isn't just obedient, they're a confident partner who can go more places with you. Just think about it. Calm walks in Westwood Hills, relaxing on a local patio with friends, or having people over without all the stress. Here's to many happy, peaceful adventures for you and your dog, right here in town.